One of those journeys that truly feels like it will never end is each time you board the ship of the seventh art in the cinema. I usually say that if you want to better understand the nature of something, you must study the nature of the era it belongs to. In relation to the cinema of past eras, prominent actors with theatrical training stood out, and the dialogues were transversal cuts into the continuous and agonizing existential becoming. Today, in a completely different social decor where people feel, think, and speak differently, we inevitably encounter fewer corresponding interpretations. Regarding today's films, of course, there are and will be remarkable films as long as there is cinema. The main characteristic is the omnipotence of the image with special effects at the expense of dialogue and articulation. Analytical thinking and judgment have partially given way to the fast food computerized image. When the retina struggles to keep up with the torrential pace of alternating visual effects, it becomes difficult for the brain to process the verbal load and condensed emotions. What, in the final analysis, is that element that always makes the decisive difference and categorizes a cinematic work as a masterpiece? The question is fraught with pitfalls, and anyone who rushes to answer may fall into a great misconception. The easy solution is to resort to sterile oppositions. For example, in my era, there was real cinema with genuinely star actors, while today, trash predominates, etc. And so we divide into opposing camps and, of course, lose the essence, as usual. They enclose their space like private clubs and overlook the fact that beauty and art cannot be bottled up like a perfume. You cannot monopolize it and then claim to be the only authority, for you will end up a caricature and a laughingstock. Many times I catch myself placing an egotistical stance and saying that, like certain films I've seen or songs I've heard, such corresponding ones will never exist again. Naturally, the new generation comes to enlighten me and prove me wrong by pointing out things that later compel me to reevaluate my opinion. Certainly, knowledge and experience count for a lot. The more films you watch, the sharper your cinematic mind becomes. The more you read, knowledge is always power. And learn about the characters, the period films, having studied the respective eras to understand the historical and social context, about the various categories and genres of filmography that exist, the stronger your judgment will be and your opinion will gain weight. Moreover, we should not overlook our psychological disposition when it comes to watching a film. We cannot continuously watch only masterpieces. There are moments when we want something lighter, more digestible. It is impossible to be in a constant state of education and initiation, just as it is impossible to indulge exclusively in visual effects and become addicted only to films that appeal to our instincts. Cinema was, is, and will be the cloak of imagination upon the body of reality, the wings with which the mind travels, knowledge and virtue that shape character, and melody that delights the soul. In summary, beauty in cinema is everywhere. However, it is not offered to us on its own. We must discover it. How we do this depends on each of us. It is a personal gamble, just like so many other things in our lives. I am Vibra Beat, and if you liked the video, give it a like and subscribe.